I'm nervous. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh my God, don't be nervous. We're so chill.
We're very serious people here, so don't mess this up.
Extremely. I will be very serious today.
Okay, good.
So, tell me what it is, what you want from me,
Today we're talking about The Get Together. For those of you that don't know, it's coming out on May 14th on demand. Directed and written by Will Backey, also by Michael B. Allen, and it's starring Alejandro Rose-Garcia, Johanna Braddy, is it Braddy or Brady? I want to make sure I say it right.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Jacob Artist, and introducing Courtney Parchman. So when I saw that on the screen, I was like, oh, I like that. Introducing. I like that. That's really cool. So for my audience that may not know who you guys are, would each of you guys be able to introduce yourselves, tell them a little bit about yourself, say your name, your character you play in the movie, and then your favorite TV show of all time?
I'm Courtney Parchman. I don't know. I do comedy and I'm pursuing acting. I don't know when you stop saying pursuing and when you're just doing acting. So I'm just kind of farting around, playing and having a good time, making some stuff online. I play August. I play this girl, she's young, she's figuring out life, she's figuring out her friendships, things like that. And my favorite show of all time, this is gonna make me sound like a basic bitch, but The Office.
Okay.
Great show.
Okay.
Good choice.
That's fine. It's a fair choice. Fair choice.
And I'm Jacob, artist, and I am playing Damien in The Get Together. And he is kind of at a point in his life where he wants to propose to his girlfriend. And he ends up dealing with all of these hurdles that get in the way this one night at this party in Austin. I just started rewatching Breaking Bad like literally 2 days ago. I love that show.
Okay.
My name's Alejandro Rose-Garcia. I'm an actor and musician from Austin, Texas, where the movie takes place, and I play Caleb, who is a failed actor, probably, and musician, who is hanging around in limbo, kind of, and then bumps into his favorite or least favorite ex at a party, and his world spins wildly out of control. And my favorite TV show of all time is Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, okay. We got a little sci-fi in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I am Johanna Braddy. I play Betsy. Betsy is from Austin, moved to New York, gets this great boyfriend, Damien, comes back to Austin and is confronted, by her old friends, old boyfriend, and she starts questioning her life and her life decisions and who she wants to be. And my favorite TV show, it's such a hard question, but I think my favorite TV show would be The IT Crowd.
Oh, nice.
I know no one else that knows about that show.
I don't know what it is. I was going to keep
It's on Netflix. It's amazing.
What is it about? What is it?
It's about an IT department. These two guys and this girl who gets hired to be their manager, and she knows nothing about computers or anything. And it's a comedy. It's an English show. So good.
It is such a great show. Definitely check. It's hilarious. The other day I was talking about it, and people were like, what is that? I've never heard of it. So to have somebody mention, I'm like, somebody knows what it is.
I was going to keep quiet.
Great feeling. I'm really happy for you too.
And I was like, I have to ask.
Right. I appreciate that you asked versus like, oh yeah. Then I would have been like, oh, Jacob knows what it is too. And then you're like, no,
oh my
I don't.
God, IT, it's so great. Love
Yeah.
it.
It's wonderful.
I know we kind of broke the ice. I feel we broke the ice, but I still wanted to do this kind of little fun icebreaker that I kind of have done on the PartyChat podcast channel when we've talked about games and movies and stuff before. And this question is in no way foreshadowing the not so distant future with everything going on, but in a zombie apocalypse, okay, if you were to survive, which two characters from the movie would you choose to be on your team and why?
Oh my God, good question.
Not August.
She has a car. She's got a car.
She does.
I would take Lucas, and because that would be funny, and Betsy.
Great answer.
Okay.
Good answer, Damien.
Right answer, Damien. Right answer.
I would pick McNelly. because I know he's scrappy as hell.
Yeah.
And I know he's ready for an apocalypse as well. I'm pretty sure. I think he's one of those doomsday people. I would pick McNelly and the guy that, like, the pool guy, the guy that is monitoring the party, whose party house it is.
Oh, Garrison, I think, or Harrison?
Yeah, Garrison.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Good team.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good team.
That is a solid team. You have the car. Garrison definitely, he practices some type of hunting or survival stuff in the woods somewhere. So, yeah.
I feel like I would go with Garrison as well, and then probably also Damien, because he is clearly such a solid guy, and like mission, like he stays on his mission. So
True.
I feel like the two of them together could protect you pretty well.
Yeah,
I
I'd
agree.
probably have to go Garrison and maybe August for like entertainment / you could like throw her to some wolves and try and escape out the back. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Diversion. It's survival diversion.
For morale and then and diversion.
Yeah, no worries.
It's hard out there.
Nothing, no problem at all. He just offered you to be a
Yeah,
sacrifice.
Got it.
Well, we would protect you for most of the time, but if it really came down to it, you'd be like, just leave me. We'd be like, cool, we love you, bye.
So hopefully it's not an episode of The Walking Dead, because the it comes time to moment happens almost every episode or every other episode.
It's true.
How would you describe the movie to someone who wants to see it, and without spoiling anything, how would you tell somebody about the movie?
I think it's a real coming of age of being in your 20s, and I think all four of these people, even though they're under different circumstances, they're all kind of having the same sort of emotional experience, and it's kind of a transition point in their lives. And it's really fun and really funny, and I think it has a lot of heart as well, but I think definitely like a coming of age movie set over one night.
I think that sums it up. I like the description I saw on IMDb, which I think does a great description, kind of mixing in what you were saying, but also kind of hints to the execution of the movie. It says a Friday night house party is shown through the eyes of a post-grad misfit, her slacker Uber passenger, his long-lost love, and her neurotic boyfriend struggling to propose.
That nails it.
I can say
That's
that.
exactly how we would describe
That
it.
is absolutely it, yes.
So one of the things I did love about the movie was the execution, because they did take, like you said, it is a coming of age movie. All of these people are at this party and they're all going through a pivotal transitional moment, like you said, but it was executed in such a way that kept it very interesting. It wasn't just like, oh, you can pretty much guess how this movie's going to be. But as I was watching, I was like, oh, and I kind of felt a little Marvel-like, because when you watch a Marvel movie, you got to pay attention to everything and like when things happen. So when you're going from transition to transition, I was like, oh, so in his part, they were talking about this, and this is what he's talking about now. And I was like, okay, this is definitely fun for someone like me who watches like WandaVision and MCU stuff and the Avengers, and you got to remember things and they come back later. So shout out to the writers for that.
It's a crossover flick. We all have our own individual movies in the movie.
Yeah.
And then it's like the
Black
Avengers.
Widow coming up.
Yeah.
They did a great job. I would say it probably not until like the third or fourth time I saw the movie, because every time I watched it, I would like had my own like, what am I doing? It took me probably 4 times to fully be like, oh, it connects here and here and here. Like it took so many times for me to watch it to like really see everything the directors and writers put into the movie. Yeah.
Well, there's some
think
good
it's
like
great how
kind of
that-
Easter eggy moments where someone walks, where you realize that the shots technically line up. That there's a scene where my character walks by you two having dinner, but it in the script it seemed more prominent, but then in the movie it kind of just slides by pretty quickly. It's easy to not notice. So there's fun stuff like that. You got to keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. When that happened, I was like, oh, that's Damien right there. So one question I do want to ask, it has nothing to do with the movie, but just a question. Do any of you guys, or have any of you guys ever played video games?
Yeah, I
Yes.
played Kingdom. Did you ever play Kingdom Hearts, like in the early 2000s, like based off all the Disney stuff?
Yes,
Love
I've played
Kingdom
them.
Hearts. That was like my jam.
It's a fun game. They came out with another version, I think a couple years ago.
Yeah, I feel like there's been so many iterations of it.
What about you guys?
Yes,
Have you
I
ever
play.
played
Huge gamer.
Yeah, I have played video games most of my life. off and on. Not, I would say at times heavily, but also not. But I've technically had a gaming system since I had a Super Nintendo as a kid.
Okay.
And I also have a video game tattoo, so that's
Oh, that's cool. What up,
What
if you don't mind sharing?
it's right.
Here we go.
It's this tattoo. It's a Metal Gear Solid tattoo.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid.
That's
Okay.
right. It's my favorite game of all time. I played it in high school, and me and one of my best friends were both incredibly moved by it. So we we both have this tattoo.
It's a tough game. That game
It
is
is
tough.
a- it
The
is a
series.
tough
I played the easier version, and it was still tough. The last one.
For me, the game is about sneaking around, and all the cutscenes were like movie grade. Like all the bad guys had really unbelievable character arcs and stuff, and I was like moved by it. And anyway, it's insane. That was like blew my mind as far as what video games could do, and storytelling as far as video games, which is now like stuff like The Last of Us and things like that. That's kind of the point of some of these giant AAA franchises, is having basically you are playing Breaking Bad or whatever. You're playing this huge story. There's crazy games being made now that some of them I'm just like, I don't have time.
Right.
Can't do it. I can't spend 300 hours doing this, but I kind of want to.
I never played any of the like epic story games, just more like platform games. Like Rayman is one of my favorite games ever.
Nice.
And okay, we consider Oculus video games, or is that
Yeah.
Do you have an Oculus?
Obsessed with Oculus.
Wait, is that the eye thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's in my kitchen right now. I have a Oculus Quest and I have a Rift.
It's nuts. It's nuts. I got one for my husband for Christmas, and I was like, oh, that'll be his thing. And then I loved it so much. I was like, can I get one?
I'm in the same boat. I have an Oculus too. It's mind blowing.
Nuts. It really, like, you can't even describe it. Like, I can't describe it. I'm just not that eloquent. It's so immersive and amazing.
What do you play? Do you play Beat Saber?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Yeah.
Beat Saber. Yeah.
It's great. Beat Saber is so much more fun than you think it is too. I was like,
It
yeah,
is.
right. Kind of like Guitar Hero a little bit with lightsabers, and then you're like, what am I saying? Yeah, it's like Guitar Hero with lightsabers.
No, true.
There's one called Elven Assassin. I don't think it's like super popular, but it's really fun. It's like a wave game, like you've got people coming, you defend your village, and it's endless. There's no
Is it
end.
just bow and arrow, or do you have sword as well?
No, it's bow and arrow, but like a couple of levels you can like launch things, and there's like I'm you could just play it.
Okay. You said it's called Elven Assassin?
Yeah.
That's cool. They just had a games show, Oculus, last week or the week before, about some of the new games that they have. So they're going to have Resident Evil 4 come out on the Oculus.
Oh my God.
Definitely play that.
I don't know about that.
It'll be fun to watch. As far as I'm too terrified. Like I said, scary movies terrify me, but it'll be fun to watch someone else play it.
Can't be playing a horror game in my house by myself. That's just too much.
For sure. And Courtney?
I played Among Us when that was
of course.
hot and heavy.
Oh.
But I just bought a PS4 for my house, and thank you. My most experience is like Cooking Mama and like Mario Party, but
Great game.
I literally just got the PS4 like 2 days ago, and in the thing they were showing all the things you can do with the VR type of stuff, and I was like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have so much fun. I don't think my roommates will have as much fun as me, but hearing y'all talk about it, I think it sounds so much fun.
And PSVR has a lot of great games as well. I do love cooking games too. So Cooking Mama though on Switch, it's a rage game. It's a rage game.
Yeah.
I literally stood up and walked out on one of because the perfect stars, she's very critical for someone who's not cooking the food, okay? For everything that she asks you to do. She is very critical. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I played Overcooked. Is that the same premise?
Overcooked is a little different. Overcooked is a lot of fun too. With that, it's multiplayer and different people. You try to coordinate. Like, hey, you chop this while I serve this, or while I cook this. You want to make sure the kitchen doesn't burn down. I was playing it on Tuesday and almost lost friendships. It is a lot of fun. It's such a fun game.
Yeah, it's kind of a dangerous game during quarantine lockdown stuff. Like if you've been trapped in a house with your significant other and you guys try and play Overcooked and they're not chopping tomatoes at the right speed, you're gonna have a real problem.
And you're losing orders. You're trying to get them 3 stars and you're losing orders. Okay.
Like, I said cheeseburger. not hamburger. People are like, stop yelling at me. You're like, ah.
I need lettuce and tomato. This is just lettuce. I need a tomato.
Exactly.
Yeah. Taking a step in a different direction. I know for me, in regards to being a creator or content creator on YouTube, when COVID hit, how it affected my industry in regards to, you know, a lot more people were watching things because a lot more people are at home, right? But our in-person events, a lot of them were shut down. Everything's pretty much virtual. E3 used to be a really big thing where all these gaming companies would have a presentation. Now all of them are doing presentations online. What I wanted to ask you guys is, how did COVID affect your industry and what you guys do in the acting front? How did it affect what you guys do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I mean, big time. Everything just shut down, right? When, you know, the world shut down. Slowly, I think things have been coming back. But a lot of projects like independents can't come back because there are so many protocols you have to follow for COVID. It makes things a lot more expensive. So at least from like my vantage point, I don't think our industry is fully back yet. It's been sad. It's been sad, you know? You can't make as much art right now.
What about you guys? Has it affected you guys in any capacity?
Yeah, I mean, I think like she said, you know, it obviously kind of rocked the whole last year for everyone and everything. I mean, they were making some stuff in the midst of it, and then things are slowly coming back, but I think it's going to be a little bit before it's like fully, totally back on its feet, you know?
Right.
I, like you, do a lot of digital stuff. So, but I do digital to like move to traditional, so like more bigger screen. So I guess it took out the whole like, maybe this will help me get on screen. It kind of was just like, okay, maybe this will make people that are watching this laugh. It like took out the like bigger picture of it and just let it be like, it changed my whole relationship with like why I make the videos I make and like my relationship with my followers, because it was like just so different. It was a really interesting experience.
Yeah, I imagine that you having a sort of the basis of stuff that you make being made from your house anyway, that it somehow seemed like, did it become more important? Like you felt more like, I need to make this to sort of lighten the mood and keep people on the level and stuff?
Well, it wasn't even like, I wish I could say it was like, I knew I needed to make people laugh that day, but it was like, I needed to laugh because my roommate left. Like I don't think, and LA was so strict as everything else, but like literally didn't see another person or talk to another person for like 3 months. And so like, it was literally like my only way of like feeling like I don't know, I had no other reason to be funny. And so it was like every day I'd wake up and be like, okay, what can I do today? And then like a bit would be funny. And there was no reason to continue going, but I had nothing else to do. So I'd be like, okay, how can I make it funnier? How can I make it funnier? And it was just like such a fun activity for me to do every day. It really was like therapeutic. Like I would have, I don't know, like what outlet I would have had I not had that. So it was very different.
For me, last year, I agree. I like dove into content creating because I was like, I need an outlet. I need to like interact, live stream, game. I need to do reacts. I need to do other things. So I can completely understand what you're saying.
I play music full time. And so the show, the touring and stuff, all, you know, and not to mention the venues and stuff were just kind of obliterated. And a lot of places didn't come back. But on the other side, in the content creating side, things went really, I'm in the same boat and agreement of like, I had to send out a lot more stuff. So as opposed to wanting all of these bits, I was like, man, if I keep doing this, it's just going to be videos in this exact Zoom setup with like me playing a fuzzy looking guitar and sounding kind of weird. And so I actually like invested in a nice DSLR and like I have a little like silly lighting rig like this guy right here. And then started teaching myself Premiere Pro and started like learning editing and stuff like that, so that hopefully I could send stuff out of my house that I was actually really proud of. Mm-hmm. And that just became, that's kind of a bottomless pit now, but I feel like I kind of got to learn something out of it that otherwise I just take for granted that other people know how to do, and I just kind of show up. So that was nice.
Well, it's a learning curve for any creator. If any content creator tells you, I knew exactly what to do when I started, they're lying. Okay. Everything was transition. When I started, I didn't have camera. I used the PlayStation 4 to record my gameplays, and that was a nightmare. now I have a DSLR as well. I've got a lighting set up and things like that, but that's something that we kind of came to. You see this fancy green screen behind me? Before, I went to Joann's Fabrics, just bought a green sheet and just hung it on some PVC pipe, and that was my green screen.
Yeah.
So, you know, you live, you learn and you live, and you live and you learn.
Whichever order you want.
Yeah, however you want to do it. One of the things that you kind of touched on, even though it's not a hobby in regards to finding a different way to send out content that you were talking about, but have you guys, you know, picked up any new hobbies during this time or explored new things while, you know, everything's shut down or reopening to some degree?
I was trying to think of like a good answer. I mean, I think kind of like what everyone said, this last year has been such a time to kind of reevaluate what you're doing and what you want to do. And, you know, I had never really created anything before. I kind of just was always in front of the camera. So it was nice in that time to kind of start developing something on the other side, which has been really exciting. As far as hobbies, I'm trying to think of a good one. Joe, do you have a good hobby?
Hobby? What, are you going to steal my hobby?
Right.
I think I might. I just might echo what you say.
Hobbies, I don't know. I don't know about hobby-wise. Same, you know, writing. I've always wanted to write, and it gave time to do that. But hobbies? Fostering puppies?
Did anybody get a good hobby?
That's a cute hobby.
Has anybody had a good hobby?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's all stuff that I'm not sure if I consider it hobbies. But no, I don't think so. I think we all don't have any hobbies at all.
Okay, well, I picked up.
Straight and narrow.
Like, I've been knitting.
No, I started crocheting. No, I got into aggressively using the Facebook Marketplace. And so now I'm really big into like interior designing, but getting like the best deal I possibly can. It's carried me for the past like 6 months.
Whoa.
Okay.
God,
Okay.
yes.
That's really good. And I'm here for crocheting as well. I did it a lot. Now my work is my hobby. So just like you, I have no hobbies at all. Everything I do, I record. Not everything. Not everything. Let's make sure that's clear. But no, a lot of those different aspects of myself I do put online. I know,
That's right.
Jacob, you have your TikTok where you put some dancing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I started TikTok in the middle of coronavirus.
And you do your pop lock it dance moves. And
Taking
like, did you
dance
choreograph that? Or
You pop and lock it?
Well, if you go on the For You page, it's like a black hole of everybody doing everything. So I like stole everything that I do. Nothing is my own, unfortunately. I see average fashion blogger on my For You page all the time, 24/7. Just
there she is.
There she is.
Speaking of average fashion blogger, I did check out your bachelorette skit that you put on YouTube.
Did you like it?
I did. I thought it was hilarious. You said no. I was like, this girl is clearly confused on what she's doing in a way, which is like the character. Like, this is clearly not the Bachelorette. But it was such a hilarious, especially when the other girl came. You were like, what is she doing here?
Yeah.
What is she doing? Why is she here? So it was definitely a lot of fun. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check out her YouTube channel, also on TikTok. I did see, I don't know if this was, on Instagram, I liked your peeing in the pool while an influencer is taking a photo behind you video.
Yeah, I guess I picked up that hobby too. Peeing in pools.
I love the fact that you came up with, and I like knowing the source of it now, you know, you were just trying to find ways for you to kind of cope through what was happening, and in ways found a creative outlet that a lot of people can come to when they need an outlet, you know?
Yeah, it's been so much fun.
Full circle. So coming back to the movie, okay, what was it like on set? I think it was filmed in 2019, I believe, because when I saw some of the BTS stuff on Instagram, so it's pre-COVID. But what was the vibe like on set? Was it a very fun, I mean, it's a party movie, but was it very serious? Was it a lot of fun? How was it working with Will? All of those things.
It was not horrifically serious. It was also the shoots were from like 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. So the middle of your work day is at like 3 in the morning. So everybody kind of got pretty loopy, and sort of trauma bonded a little bit on being up all night together and having become a totally nocturnal person. And that was amazing. And honestly, I was just thinking about how many of those extras just showed up and just fake partied with us for 2 weeks at all hours of the night and just hung out and drank soda water for like hours and hours on end. And our directors and cat wranglers all had like fun activities to try and like wake us back up and snap us back into it, like Big Swig O'Clock and stuff like that, and playing fake drinking games with anyway, it was a lot of fun and kind of like summer camp.
Yeah, I always say that it was just like summer camp. And like it was, with any job, like when you first get it, you like dream it up in your head, and then you get to the job and you're like, it's fun, but not as fun as I thought it was going to be. Like, this is truly, I think, the one thing I'll get to do in my life that like I dreamt of it being like so perfect and like glorified, and then I got there and like it was even better than I ever could have like thought of. Like, it was just so fun that it was from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. because like everyone else is asleep, nothing else exists. So we were there, and like the only thing to do was to be there with each other. And then the director, like Will, just made it so much fun. Everyone was just like, we're doing this, we're making a movie, and like we're gonna have fun while doing it. It was like as much fun as it looks.
That's good. I love that. I love your energy and your outlook on it. It definitely is reminiscent.
It was a dream come true.
Yeah, I think just echoing what they both said, I think the chemistry that you see in the movie is sort of what it was like making it. And, like when we first got there, Will had us all over to kind of just like get to know each other. And it really felt like a family of fun, like we were just having a great time and essentially capturing it for a film,
That's cool. That's really cool. Johanna?
What if I was just like, that was not my experience?
I would have been like, oh, okay. All right, next question.
Everything they said, it was just like shooting at night. We were all together. Nothing else existed, like Courtney said. So it really forces this bond that was so awesome. We were up all night. So we were loopy. It was goofy. But also, I think everyone was so passionate about the script that made it even more fun. Like, everyone who was there really wanted to be there and really cared about the project. So it was just like, It was just such a positive set.
That's good. And that's actually a great segue to my next question for each of you guys. When you read about the character or read the script, what really drew you into your role, or what about the character you really connected with, or did you not connect with your character at all and that's why you loved it? Like, talk a little bit about that.
I think I really related to Betsy. I grew up in the same house for 18 years, and then I moved to California. So I definitely had those experiences of coming back and seeing the little things that have changed in myself and others, and just trying to figure out where my place was and who I was as a person through that. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I related to with Betsy, which is, a huge part of her journey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think for me with Damien, like, a proposal is such a big moment in someone's life. And, obviously he was taking it super seriously like most people do. And I think just exploring that whole process and planning that whole thing and the stress and the anxiety of all of that, it was fun to kind of see it just like unravel and kind of come to a head,
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first time I read the script, I hated August. I was like, this girl needs to grow up. She's so immature, all these things. And then I read it again and I was like, oh, I hate her because she is me. And it was like this highlighting like my flaws and like that, those insecurities and stuff that I'm always like, no, I like would never feel like that. But then it like every young 20-year-old feels that way. Mm-hmm. And so once I read it the second time, I was like, oh no, I really feel this girl. And I like hope I get to tell her story right. So it was like so well written. So I think she's great.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that's maybe a little bit too close to the chest as far as the script's concerned, because I grew up in Austin, and some of the places I was like, is this the house you're talking about, in the script? And they were like, oh no, it's farther down the street. And I'm like, I swear some of these I have memories of this party. And then, obviously the like music through line and stuff like that. But I think in general, the thing that I like the most about the script, especially when I read it, is that each character, it's something that I think the average person goes through every one of these things. Like, the fear of losing friends, and being left out as people change or get more serious, the worry that you've gotten too serious and you can't let go of anything anymore, The feeling of like nagging or trying to lock commitment down and feeling, alienated by someone else's old life. And then just worrying that you're going nowhere. Those are kind of the 4 pillars of that. And I think that in watching the movie, you could cycle through identifying with all of us at different points, which is cool.
I agree. I definitely have felt each of these things. Like, where am I going? What am I doing? What I do now is definitely very non-conventional. I did go to college, but you don't go to college to be a YouTuber. So it's, I think this is definitely something that a lot of people can relate to in regards to different transitions and where they are compared to where their friends may be, or their old friends, their new friends, and things like that. But yes, I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat here on the PartyChat podcast. I want to do my outro with you guys. I want to teach you what I do normally on my channel, and some of my friends wanted to see this too, so this will be a lot of fun. Okay. Until next time, buddies. Toodles. That's all I do. Okay. You guys ready to do it together?
Yeah.
All right. I see Jacob's like, you're ready? You're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go. All right. Until next time, buddies. Toodles. Thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. And I know that they gave me the timer like probably 15 minutes ago to let you guys go to do the other things that you have to do today. But thank you so much. This was on my bucket list to interview actors, and you guys were my first. So thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Tell me what it is, don't tell me what it ain't. They try to throw salt, it just made the pressure raise. Going through a phase, gotta get myself out it. Don't talk about it, boy, they said you gotta be about it. So I be trying to face the world head on. Front seat riding, cruising down the meadows. Pedal to the meadow, cool breeze blowing down the windows. Calm trees.